Ladies and gentlemen.
There you go.
Cable with the
Ben
NSL
Liston,
news.
there you are. Yeah, do that again for me, please, and I don't have to do it. Okay, here we go. Ben
All
Liston.
right. Ladies and gentlemen, Kurt Gable with the NSL news.
Ben, how are you doing?
Great. It's been a good season. It always kind of, I know we're into the next season, but for all of us up here in the Northeast, the tunnel meet in January kind of marks the end of one year, gives us and we have a little bit of a pause before the weather really breaks and substantial outdoor jumping can resume.
Have you recovered yet? It's 2 weeks, so I guess by now you may have recovered from what you're doing there.
Kind of, yeah. Things still hurt a little bit. My body and
it's a lot of work.
Giving the family back some time. Yeah,
I saw it once or twice when I was there, I believe. And what you're doing there is just, I mean, I'm kind of a multi-purpose, multitask guy, you know, at events that I'm doing, but what you're doing there, nothing compares to that.
Well, I don't know about nothing, but it's one of those things that I think just evolved in time. So we just have to start on time, keep things on track, and just prepare for the next step of the day each time, whether that's getting team pictures done and the meet briefing and the warm-up flights, the final briefing. And once we get rolling with the meet, it's just a matter of making sure lunch and food rolls out at the right time. The judges are on task, which they were. They did a great job this year. 361 rounds because we had a jump off, and in one day is quite a feat for any judging panel.
You can say that, and at the same time, you are competing too. Don't forget that.
Right. I mean, I think, yeah, it's a grassroots movement, and it's so fun. I don't think I ever would want to be a meet director and have to sit on the ground, but to get to compete and just kind of keep an overview, just kind of supervision of the different things that are playing out, then that's the perfect situation for me. It's like load organizing and getting to jump on the loads. That's great. It's not as fun to coach on the ground.
Well, congratulations first of all, because you won your title back. It's been a while now that you won the last time. I think I looked it up. I thought I saw only once that you won it with the Mass Defiance Boo combination or so. Boo Defiance.
Right.
Is that really the only time that you won the event?
I think I beat Boo one time.
Yeah.
That we
okay.
Which was great because Boo and Rodney and I don't remember who else was part of their lineup. Maybe Scotty Latness a couple times. They won a few years in a row, and it was close each year, so it was a little bit of a grudge match. So, yeah, we had a short-lived victory, and then our outdoor skill set does not, and a bunch of big guys from Defiance, and we're always jumping with scuba or have different fill-in people. Man, there's no way we could keep up with those ranch.
Well, then ranch second generation came along, right?
Yeah, that's really why we won this year, was because they weren't there.
Yeah, which was a big loss.
I gave them a thank you out during the award ceremony for not coming, so I could finally get a victory. Yeah.
Yeah, so there was a big loss, though. It's but I mean, well, of course they're busy, preparing for whatever they. I mean, they have a lot of things on their plate.
Absolutely.
I'm sure you were sad that they wouldn't.
Right. I mean, one, they're all such great people and bring such a wonderful vibe to the meet. True kind of it. The tunnel meet started as a grassroots movement. When I was doing some work for contract work for West Point to prep them, we used to run it in December to get them ready for collegiates. So I always appreciate kind of grassroots stories, and the ranch second generation folks of just kind of bringing themselves up from nothing is brilliant.
That brings us together on that mission.
Yeah, they were great, and then they started by just competing, but then they became just a hub of and a draw to so many folks from the ranch and other places that they've worked with, that with their presence, they'd show up, and also another 6 or 7 teams would show up because of them. So
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's really super sad to see them go, but I also hope, in due time, in different years, when it's not an on year and they're not competing in their different respective teams, that that some of those folks can come back with their new team names and new rosters and all the connections those will bring. So,
or as individuals and coaches and player coaches and so forth, all of that. And yeah, it's kind of a coincidence. At the same time, we also lost, I heard that not too long ago, Light XP is also taking a break or discontinue. I don't know, I don't have the details, but David, he said that they have no plans for this year. So both Ranch second generation and Light XP were kind of inventory now at your event, you can say.
Right. So. Right. So there's some folks from different teams showed up as individuals and competed, which was great. But Light is another example of a team that usually they come up and bring just an awesome, fun competitor spirit, and also end up doing player coach teams themselves, and bringing up other folks. So with both of those teams out, and with Defiance not having a presence this year, I was nervous a little bit about numbers, especially Lori and Rob, the tunnel owners. They do a ton, but they were busy with some stuff with their business. I was busy with some emergencies at my school, so we weren't out and about recruiting teams to really any degree. So we kind of rolled the dice. But it's Scuba Steve, one of my
36 teams then.
Yeah, people just keep coming out of the woodwork. Scuba was saying that he's psyched because he knows fewer and fewer people each year there, and there are new folks that are coming up. So that makes me happy.
Yeah. So give us some of the details now. And I try to bring to the attention of whatever I knew and know, but all the details and all the things that were going on and happening, the funny ones, and the interesting ones, where that's too much for me to cover it all. Now here we have a few minutes. What was standing out this year, Ben?
What was standing out? I think this was our first year of having a true junior team.
Yeah,
and
right.
all
covered that, right?
An all junior team, and that was great to see. To see them shine. And I don't think they fully grasp yet the treat of having a jump off and winning a jump off. That might not happen for them again for who knows how long, right? So in their very first meet, to get to have a jump off and to perform so well, that was awesome. And there were some great battles with all the different divisions, and intermediate things came right down to the last round for first and second place. So that's great. And it's also awesome to see such a strong presence from the Yukon parachute team, the collegiate team. They come off of collegiate nationals, and they're always there. The other highlight for me, which I don't know if you caught in the lineup, but some cadets, or I guess they're called midshipmen from the Naval Academy, came up kind of last minute and fielded a team, which was awesome. So great to have them up. Yeah.
Well, I talked to Jack. Actually, it's interesting. Before the event, he said that, well, we don't really know, how much they will like it, and if there's nothing planned really for after that. I'm talking about the juniors now again.
Right.
But then after the event, that changed completely. They were already thinking, how can we? The kids were asking, we want to go to Paraclete for it. They were already thinking about it. So it's good to see that maybe, hopefully, there will be a momentum, because the US so far we don't really have a lot of junior business, with forward teams, and it would be nice to get that started somehow.
Yeah.
I also, who caught my attention was your Fly Girls. That's your team more or less, right?
that's a whole separate highlight that bears, that's not just a bullet point in the in the list of cool things or new teams that showed up and made a big impact their first year, like the team from Navy. But the Fly Girls were a force to be reckoned with. I mean, the progress that they've made over the years is really something to be proud of. And even, as I'm sure you noted, from nationals to the World Cup,
Mm-hmm.
with the fast draw at nationals and the super slow and complex draw from the World Cup, their scores actually went up a few weeks later.
One of the few teams,
Right.
who improved their scoring. But you're coaching them, right? At least to a certain extent.
I have here and there. I think that they are self-coached, and I love that. But they, I've done a couple different tunnel sessions with them.
You New Englanders, you're experts in self-coaching up there, right?
We try to be. we take a little pride in that. Not that it isn't awesome to get expert advice. I mean, even our Defiance team, with the great year that we had, we're doing some stuff out at Eloy, and it was awesome. Nicholas was kind and and just kind of donate a little bit of time and insight to us when he was kind of between other things, or had time to help us through some blocks that were sticky points for us. So I love coaching, so don't get me wrong there, but I do think there's a little bit of a bootstraps kind of mentality here, where there's a sense of pride of kind of folks figuring stuff out on their own, not necessarily going with old techniques, but figuring out their own continuity plans and exit strategies. So it's great to see.
Yeah, and they have plans for this year, the Fly Girls.
They do. It's my understanding. I haven't spoken with them. I know they were very jazzed after the tunnel meet and going up by 40 points or so from their score last year.
Yeah,
that they would like to qualify for the next World Cup. So they've got plans to stick together this year and probably the year after. So I'm excited for them. As we know, it's when teams can stick together for 2, 3, 5 years, that's where kind of the magic really starts to happen.
And they have done exactly that. It's the same lineup now for a little while already. So that's
right.
Perfect.
Right.
So what are your own outdoor plans for this year? I know you're a busy man, and all of your amateurs and weekend warriors, and you put your time in, but Defiance has come a very long ways, with that, up to the top amateur level in the world, basically. So what's going on this year?
It's, believe it or not, we haven't really closed out last year all the way yet. My teammates usually kind of over the winter, especially with Nick and having time to catch up on his military contract work and focus on that and family. Yep, he does stuff all over the place, but he kind of unplugs for usually a good stretch of time over the winter to recoup. Brian does the same, and Boo, and he's the person I probably call the most, and we talk to each other the most out of those guys, and he's doing great with different coaching projects. So the thing that I would personally love to do, we'll see if there's a slot for me, is if there's any 8-way stuff with the Airspeedish team that I've been on before and then was alternate for last year. I'd be jazzed to do that, of course, as anybody would, to get to jump with legends of the sport. But I'm also hoping to maybe do a team or two that's New England based out here for 4-way and 8-way. It was great to fly with Doug Hendricks and Brian Boyle, and then bring Jim Reese back into the mix for this.
Right, Judge, tell us a quick story about a breakdown of Jim Reese. He was flying. He's a FAA judge, and he's almost as busy as you are at at the New
Right.
Hampshire meet.
Right. Well, what Jim did this year, he kind of built out, and you should give him a buzz to hear about the new judging system and platform that he developed with some help from some other folks. I don't want to I don't want to take away from like that as a story, but they've built out a new system, and because Jim wanted to keep an eye on that, he brought in Deanne as chief judge for this year. So instead of Jim serving as chief judge, she did. So Jim didn't actually do any judging this year. He oversaw the system to make sure everything was working, but Deanne ran the judging panel, and that freed up Jim for this 1 year to compete, which was great. So it's super fun to fly with him, especially to get to see him, since he had been tail with Defiance. So to have him at outside center and have him as a clone, and then we had our final round was awesome. So I hope I get to do more 4-way with Jim down the line. But if that's the last competition 4-way round we do, that was a good one.
Nice. Well, I have to look it up. Actually, I don't know when he flew the last time actually as a part of the competition, but it's interesting actually to find out. I wonder how long that was, because I only know that he was judging I do remember that he came to St. Louis with Defiance though in 2017. That was right.
Yep.
Yeah,
yep.
So he was back.
Yeah, so he came out of retirement for that. He came. We did one reunion year a handful of years ago with the full Defiance lineup, minus Scuba, who had a family emergency. But the 4 of us flew and did basically a pickup team and threw up like a 19 or something, which was great under the circumstances. And then Jim did return for St. Louis, and that was great. Yeah,
you did very well in St. Louis too. It was we had only 4 or 5 rounds or whatever, but whatever, you were in fifth place, 4th, 5th,
right,
6th, something up there.
Yeah, I don't remember what place we were. I just knew that we were fending off a ton of the other teams from the region, and had a couple really good rounds that we were super proud of. So
yeah,
that was a great year.
Okay, well, Ben, it was good talking to you.
Yeah, you too.
We will throw this out to the audience, and so they can. If there's anything more about the meet, the SkyVenture New Hampshire indoor meet, then let me know, because the details make always the great stories. So
yeah, I'll be in touch, but I think the model that I hope maybe other tunnels or drop zones can use is that we just keep it simple. We cram it all into one day through kind of good organization to keep things going, and we keep it cheap. We trust that the numbers are going to cover the expenses, but $100 gets you a meet T-shirt, all the video coverage with each individual round being available through your website, as well as the total 10-round composite things and team pages.
Amazing, actually, that you even get the highly expensive NSL news coverage, for
right.
included in the right. That's amazing, because it's so expensive to get the NSL news somewhere.
It is. Your biggest.
No, we have to spread that word, so people know how easy it is actually to do that. So
right.
People are very happy about
and
it.
the other highlight that I really should have mentioned, but again, kind of like the Fly Girls, it's a different. It deserves kind of a story in of itself, is the great support we've gotten from Eliana Rodriguez over the last couple of years. She's come out as an event coach, been available for some private coaching the night or two before. So competitors get an experience of having a world-class event coach, being able to finish the whole meet in a day. So, some folks will stay over the night, but many people from the area will just kind of drive up, crush it, and then go home at 10 o'clock at night. So I think that, I hope with the different events or some outdoor stuff that I'm hoping to put together here in the New England area for the year, of just keeping things simple, keeping things a single day, and keeping the prices down so it's not cost prohibitive to be part of something great.
all a perfect match for what the NSL mission is on. So we have always made a good match, and we'll keep doing that. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Good for New England, Mr. Ben Liston. There he is. He's a master. What do I call the Jan Klapka in the Czech Republic? The godfather of four-way competition.
Yeah, I don't think anything close to that, but I'm willing to grind it out. I don't mind grinding it out for that finished product of a great day. So I think we're going to keep that 16-way team that I put together for nationals this last year. We're going to have another reiteration of that this year. So Scotty Latness was encouraging me to try to think about even doing a training weekend or something. So I thought that could be fun to throw together a mock 16-way comp or like a YouTube meet like we did a handful of years ago, and maybe some teams from California or Arizona or Florida could do the same over the same weekend and just have a 3-round or 4-round or 6-round meet.
Yeah, we have been talking about this already for a while, I remember. So yeah, there's obviously there is a desire of people for those kind of events. We have to begin offering it. All right, then. Thank you very much, and good luck with everything else this year.
Cool. Thanks a million. Yeah, for anybody that's interested, next year it's going to be I forget what the date is, but it's the weekend after MLK weekend.
Okay.
It's going to be the weekend, the Saturday for the next meet.
And it will be busier again, probably, than with even more than this year, because some of the missing players will be back possibly next year. No World Championship next year, so we'll see.
Absolutely.
Great. Thanks again, Ben.
Yep. Thank you for all your support, Kirk.
Goodbye.
All right. Take care.